Welcome back, you guys, for a new episode of LifeTalks. A couple weeks ago, you may or may not have seen, you can go back and look, an episode we did about the church and what it really means to be a church, what Jesus really meant when he was, I've learned, standing on the rock, when he said, on this rock I'll build my church, being on the fact that he is the Son of God, the Messiah. And what he said was, we had said ecclesia, meaning my people, my gathering, not brick and mortar, not a building, not something that just happens for an hour a week. Which I think is just really a whole different concept of the meaning of church. So we talked about that a little bit in that episode. And then I actually got to see this in action a couple weeks ago that I think was just phenomenal. And I really, really, really want to share it with you. And I'm going to try to do it without crying because it was very moving. In our town, we have a couple different organizations. One's called Room in the Inn, which Jennifer, from her ecclesia,
from my church,
from her gathering, they help with, along with there's probably 40 different gatherings around our town that support it. It's
an amazing
ministry,
come together of unity.
Yeah, where we don't have a ton of homeless people in our area, but we do have homeless. And a friend of ours, along with another one of her friends, started Room in the Inn, which helps. Really, it is not an organization to convert people to the way we believe. It is an organization that keeps people from freezing to death during our really cold months.
Hot meal and a place to lay down.
Yeah,
in the heat.
Yeah, and each church will pick up the homeless people. They'll come get them and bring them back to their church where they have the opportunity to take a shower, just get on a cot.
They feed them dinner and breakfast.
Yeah,
it's like to send them off on their day.
Yeah, and it's really a beautiful thing to watch.
It really is.
But a spinoff of that has been Room at the Table, where they have now organized a 365-day a year. I hate to call it a soup kitchen because it's not soup. It's
dinner. It's just a dinner every day at 5:30.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the billboard of the church says Room at the Table, dinner each night at 5:30 or something.
Oh yeah, okay, so, that's cool.
Dinner served at 5:30. Yeah, I saw it when going down to Tennessee yesterday. But anyway,
yeah, so it's at one local place, and different groups come in every night and work it. And it's not, you don't have to be homeless; you just have to be hungry,
right?
And the door is open to you for a hot meal for you, your friends, your family, whoever needs it.
And they're consistently over 100 now. I just heard that day before yesterday. Every night they're consistently over 100 people. We live in a small town, so I mean. That's awesome.
I think they've even invited a few people if you just want to come. If you just want to come and have a meal and sit down with some people that you don't know, and then you're welcome as well. But I think it was 2 weeks ago on a Sunday night, our Sunday class at church went, and it was our night to do it, and it was raining. It was raining so hard.
It's like a downpour.
For about 8 hours, I think it rained between 6 and 9 inches here. It was a tremendous amount of water coming down, and it was the night that our group had decided, let's grill burgers and hot
The night
dogs.
that the great flood came to Florence.
Jeez, it was. So we had our grills outside, kind of on the side patio where this is taking place, and I mean, people are lined up. They're wet. We've gotten towels out of our cars, anything we can find to just kind of dry people off because it is. I mean, it's raining hard, y'all.
Right.
So that is going on. There's probably 20 volunteers or so from our class there working, along with a few other people. Then somebody gets a phone call and comes in and tells some of the people there that a friend of ours from our local ecclesia. I'm going to use that word all the time now. Ecclesia.
I can't even pronounce it.
It's Greek.
I don't speak the Greek. I speak the Southern girl. As I'm learning more and more as we watch these videos, I'm like, oh.
Well, you're pretty Southern.
Yeah, they got that drawl. But anyway,
it's bad.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, so somebody comes in and says that there is a friend of ours who is, their house is getting water in it. It's flooding. So 3 of the men, my husband and 2 other guys, jump in a pickup truck and they go to this house. and they're trying to keep the water out. Well, in the meantime, a local establishment has brought some food for the hungry people, and they have brought chocolate covered donuts, they brought cinnamon rolls,
it was really good food.
They brought some good stuff. And but of course then we had way too much food, so another girl and I decided, what can we do with it? We also have in our town, which most towns probably do, some rehabilitation houses where people are stepping through drug recovery, and we thought they could use this. So we get in our car and we are wading through water, we are soaking wet.
It was bad.
It was bad.
I wasn't there, but that night was bad.
It was a bad rainstorm. So we get that done and we get back, we clean up, we wrap everything up, and the other girl's husband or wife and I jump in my car because we're done and we're going to go get our husbands at the place where the house is getting wet. And it was a busy night. And we get there and there are like 20 men there putting out sandbags, scooping water, digging. They've dug a French drain and created this in the ground so these people's house wouldn't flood. And when I walked up to this scene, the homeowner, the wife there, looked at me and she said, and it will make me cry, look at all these people that showed up for us. And it just dawned on me that is the church. That's who we're called to be. It was just a couple hours, just consistent for 120 minutes of seeing the church at work. People, and that's not brick and mortar, that is human beings showing up for each other, with giving somebody a hand up or a cup of water or a conversation or just telling somebody that you are worthy and you matter to me. And oh my gosh, it was so moving, and I could really cry. Anyway, but that's, I love a local gathering, and I love going and worshiping God who made us and created this world, and that we get to lift each other up, you guys. But we were not designed to sit in rows and stare at the back of somebody's head and check a box on Sunday morning and say I'm done.
Right.
And
right.
if
that's not being the hands and feet of Jesus.
No.
That's being the blood of Jesus. You're just sitting on your tush.
That was good. Oh my goodness. But if, and I don't know where you are in your faith walk. I don't know where you go gather up with people. I don't know what you do with your life. But if your worship faith experience consists of 1 hour a week, you're missing out on a whole lot. And you're invited to come to the party.
Right.
There is space and room for you here. Every hand, every voice, every set of feet, you're all needed. And it is a beautiful, moving thing to see the church at work.
It is. And it's way more rewarding, I think, as the church reaching out is way more rewarding to us, I think, than it even is to the people that you're helping. You're missing a blessing, and I think that's part of the way God sets it up. I think that we're called to be the hands and feet of Jesus, but in return, the blessing of being that is, it just fills your soul.
Well, it does think.
And it just bubbles out. It fills you back up.
I think it's pretty clear. God says, you get your life back by giving it away.
Right.
And it's true. It's true. I don't know if it's a spiritual experience. I don't know how it works. It's somehow about how we're wired. But I don't think that came from a big bang or a big explosion or however. I don't think molecules work that way. I think it's because we've been divinely designed.
Ooh, molecules. That was a scientific term.
Ecclesia and molecules.
She speaks Greek and she's a scientist. I'm learning something new every day. That does also makes me think about that, everybody's into this thing about building their churches to be bigger and packing the pews and, you go to the big church, or, I go to a really small church. We, in our own ecclesia, church, our own church, we have community outreach. We have people that are coming in to pack the pews to hear the word of God because of the outreach, not because they're drawn there by the door opening up on Sunday morning, but because they're drawn there by the food giveaway on Saturday morning, or a utility bill need that's met, or a coat that's given, or a room in the end has come, or whatever. I mean, the outreach of the church is what the church is.
Yeah.
And in turn, you're blessed, but also in turn, you're drawing people to you. I mean, you're getting people in the church to hear the word, and people are getting saved. But the draw is not the parking lot being full.
No. I mean, you can be very empty and sit in a pew. And it's really easy to go and dress up and look like you have it all together for an hour.
And make yourself feel really good when you're leaving for that 30 seconds that you drive out of the parking lot. But then once you're back on the road, you're like, I'm done for another week.
And I've been there. I've been that person where you go and you go, let me get in there. And you walk out and you're like, whoa, good job. I feel pretty good about myself today. But
through Sunday lunch, because nobody wants to show up at Sunday lunch in blue jeans. You want to be dressed up because you want everybody to know that you have been to church. I mean, really, that's a mindset. So, once you go home and take your church clothes off and you start your week, I mean, are you done with church?
Yeah.
Is that the end of church? Is that all church is? Because if that's all church is, I mean, that doesn't seem real appealing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, Romans 12 says, I think it's Romans 12, your life is a living worship all the time. Mm-hmm. That's how we're supposed to be. And I think the only way to get there is to give your life away. So don't just limit your life by sitting in a pew. There's so much more out there for you. And getting to see that at work, really, I don't think of anything I've seen in a long time that was more beautiful than those 2 hours of feeding the hungry and helping the needy and helping a brother or a sister that was struggling get through something. It was moving.
God, we're putting groceries in someone's car in Walmart. I mean, that's the church. I mean, there's a need and it's being met. And I mean, Jesus is the great need meter.
Yeah. And we're his hands and feet.
Yeah.
And so you guys go. Our encouragement for you this week is just go be the church.
Go be Jesus.
Yep. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Bye.